The episode starts with Virat and Amruta arriving at the hospital. The nurse and doctor ask Vendi to allow them to treat her, and she agrees. However, Vendi notices that the bandage is not sanitized and refuses to let the doctor put it on her arm. Amruta steps in and asks the nurse to hand her the bandage. Amruta then applies the bandage to Vendi's arm, assuring her that it's sanitized. Vendi sees Virat and assumes he's Amruta's boss. She begins talking to Amruta, making comments about her husband, saying that her husband forcefully married her. Virat overhears the entire conversation. Amruta tries to explain to Vendi that Virat is actually her husband, but Vendi doesn't let her speak and continues badmouthing Virat. Finally, Amruta asks Vendi if they can leave, and Vendi asks Virat if he will bring her luggage. Virat agrees. Meanwhile, Rajiv tells Priyanka that he's going to have lunch in the cafeteria and leaves. Bhavani asks Jahan why Amruta and Vendi haven't come home yet. Jahan assumes that Amruta might still be searching for Vendi in the hospital. Virat asks Vendi to tell him more about Amruta's husband, and Vendi continues to make negative comments. At the hospital, Virat runs into Rajiv and asks him how he got out of jail. Rajiv notices Priyanka approaching and, to alert her, shouts Virat's name, telling him to stay away. Priyanka quickly hides from Virat. Virat grabs Rajiv by the collar and demands to know how he was released from jail. The police intervene and remind Virat that it's a crime to assault someone. Virat questions the officers about Rajiv's release, and they explain that he's out on medical grounds. Virat points out that if Rajiv is out for medical reasons, he should be handcuffed and not roaming around freely. The cops ask Virat not to lecture them on the law, to which Virat responds that the police commissioner will teach them the law, and he tries to call the commissioner. Amruta also argues with the officers. The police take Rajiv back to his room, and Vendi is shocked by everything. She asks Amruta what's going on, and Amruta promises to explain later. Virat follows Rajiv to his room, where Priyanka is hiding in a cupboard. The doctor arrives and shows Rajiv's medical reports to Virat, explaining that Rajiv was addicted to alcohol before going to jail. After he stopped drinking in jail, his body couldn't handle it, which led to him being admitted for treatment. Rajiv sarcastically asks Virat when he and his wife will leave him alone, to which Virat replies, never, making it clear that he'll keep an eye on him. Virat warns Rajiv that just because he's out of jail doesn't mean he'll be able to do anything. He says he'll be watching him and then leaves the room. Priyanka sneezes inside the cupboard, and Amruta is about to investigate, but overhears Vendi complaining to Bhavani on the phone, so she leaves the room. Virat and Amruta take Vendi to Jahan's house and then leave. Bhavani asks Vendi why they took so long. Vendi replies that it was because Virat got into a fight with someone. Jahan defends Virat, reminding Vendi that he is their son-in-law, but Vendi continues making comments about him. Jahan later tells Bhavani that she thought Vendi would be older, but she seems to be around Bhavani's age. Vendi then explains her relationship with Bhavani to Jahan.